All right, and we are live for the 2022 Thriving Farmer Opening Ceremonies Value Added Summit. So excited to see you guys all. I know there's 123 of you now watching us, and that will probably continue to just keep going up as we go through the night. So again, super glad to see you guys on here. I know YouTube always kicks in first, and then about 14 seconds later, Facebook starts kicking on. So why don't you go ahead in the comments and give us a quick hey and where you're from, and tell us the weather tonight. You know, as farmers, we're always interested in knowing what's going on. One of our team members right now is in Pennsylvania, and she's always saying, well, it's cloudy here right now. And I was like, well, sunny here. But it's always great to understand where you guys are from. We actually had someone from Barbados I saw was here already. So that's great to see that.
Can we go where she is?
That I let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the Forger check on from Monroe, Georgia. And she is speaking, is it day 2? I believe you're speaking on day 2. Again, her business is that she literally wanders through the woods and picks flowers and mushrooms and then sells them to people. Anyway, that's very simplified. She goes into way more of exactly how she does it and the cool things she does with all of that. But I tell you, that does sound like a lot of fun at some point. So we have different guests that we've coming in and out throughout tonight. Tonight we have Woody on. Woody, share a little bit about yourself, and thanks so much for being on.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You know, my I started with the value added because we pretty much have 3/4 of an acre here. We live in a community. We have neighbors on both sides of us, and there was absolutely no way I was going to make a living just from my vegetables alone. So we started adding in soaps about 4 years ago. From there, we went to kimchi's. After that, now we're doing beard balms, we're doing lip balms, beard oils. We have added so many things onto what we're doing just so I can quit my job as a teacher, because I taught for 18 years, fourth grade teacher, and it was definitely time for me to stop teaching. You know how you get to a point in your career and you're like, I need to switch. So it was definitely time for me to quit. It was either me quitting teaching or the business was going to suffer. And we decided the business, and I'm full on in with the business right now, every day, 10 hours a day or more, as you guys probably know. And you know that my wife has since gone back part-time teaching, but we're making it work off 3/4 of an acre right now. So
That's awesome.
I never thought it was going to work like that, but it's working, and we're doing a really good job right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Woody's actually taught a couple classes for us in some of our memberships. He'll be teaching in the value added school here, which is coming in January. So again, super glad to have Woody with us. We also have Jessica Hall. Jessica, glad to have you on.
Hi. Hello. I want to start by just saying, like, Woody,
Yes.
thank you, and thank your wife for helping bring up the next generation and being in education. Stepping away to help in agriculture is another method of us kind of regenerating that next generation.
Of course.
My daddy was a vocational ag teacher.
Gotcha.
Everybody asked me why I didn't do that. And I said it was probably because I'd end up locking a kid in a closet. So that I think that's why I have 4 children now. You know, it's really funny. So
I got you. Yep.
hi everybody. I am Jessica Hall with Harmony Harvest Farm. We are a family and run flower farm located in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, where we grow over 200 varieties of cut flowers and we ship them nationwide, which has been kind of our big entry into our industry of cut flowers, but our story has definitely evolved, and we certainly see ourselves as a discovery farm of a better life through flowers. And our value add really kind of goes along with that, because I truly believe that your best value add is your passion and it's your story and it's how you use that to move yourself forward. So for us, it's giving people different ways of engaging through bringing them to the farm, through shipping products to their door, through different ways that we're offering dried flowers. Right now I'm in the throes of wreaths, but that's kind of what we are.
Yeah.
I love that. And your Instagram's really fun. I always get a chuckle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't get on Instagram much, but when I do, I go to check out Harmony Harvest Farm.
Or I go, did you see what they're doing now? Look at these ladies.
Uh-oh. And we may have lost Jess. She'll be back
Uh-oh.
hopefully here. Jessica does not have Starlink yet, which we keep telling her she needs to get. But yeah, hopefully we can make her come back.
Starlink. That sounds so sci-fi.
It is. But yeah, so Jessica is speaking on day 1. Woody, are you speaking on day 2?
I believe I'm day 1. Tomorrow night we're going live at 7, right?
Yes.
I believe I'm day 1.
Okay. So now Jessica's outside.
I am going to the shop. I'm opening up the store. I'm back in my bathrobe and my husband's muck boots. But don't worry, I'm going to get the shop lights on and it'll be better in just a minute.
Okay.
I
We
think
are
the
looking
internet's
forward to
better
that.
where I work.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it gets real dark, but don't worry. See, I told you.
Oh, perfect.
Look at all those clipboards.
I love it.
Yes.
Is it better? If it's not
Oh,
better,
yeah,
I did come to where the shop has a computer.
Look at that. It looks great, Jessica. Yes. So you were telling us about what you guys do. You are right now in wreath season. You talk a lot in your presentation. You talk about finding your passion, but I think another thing that's really awesome is you talk about kind of like the world of flowers, because flowers is not just, again, picking a few tulips or rose. I mean, like, I think most of the cut flower growers, small scale cut flower growers, probably don't even grow roses. But you're doing so much, everything from the classes to the dried flowers to the, I think you sell boxes of like trim. Is that something you guys sell? I think you mentioned that in your presentation. Uh-oh. We need Jessica.
Oh, geez. I wish I could answer this for you, Michael, but I'm not in the cut flower business.
Maybe you should be in the dried flower business. I bet you could fit some of those dried flowers in the edge. So
well, we do put some. We put dried lavender, rosemary in our soaps. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Last night I was showing the oats we had. We had a bouquet of oats in here.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. And then we also have the other thing we had was, well, goldenrod. I mean, that was in the comments. It's just you can go forage goldenrod. Actually, you know what I want to bring up, because in day 2, I think we have, I know we have Kiju, and Kiju is a farmer on the West Coast, and he does a lot of dried flowers. But what he was showing us, and he was inspiring us to do, is to go out and just harvest from the hedgerows, these dried flowers. And I want to pull up here. What we did was we went out literally and harvested some from the hedgerows. And it was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that was a great bouquet.
This was 100%. Let's see if we can pull this up here. 100% from the railroad line is what it was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, let's see if
nice fall bouquet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually January 25th. But I think in there you've got some ornamental grasses. You've got some cockleburs, actually. I think these are cockleburs over here. This is your goldenrod. You've got some, this is giant foxtail. And then I forget what these are. They are, do they have a name? I knew what the name was. They actually use them. They used to use them back in like knitting and stuff. Well, they'd wrap their yarn around it, I think.
Oh, you could do something with wool when you're like carding
Yes.
it, maybe with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, so that's what that's something I was inspired to do. But Jessica's going to talk about that in her presentation, which is fabulous, and really kind of go into that here. Cattails. Yes, cattails would be great. We live in a little town called Carlisle, and Carlisle is sandy, gravelly. We have an aquifer 40 feet down, so literally as much water as we want, but you don't have any cattails because there's no standing water because it's all sandy. So if you have to go like 2 towns over to get cattails, but that is absolutely definitely something. So yeah. So Woody, give us a little bit now. When we talked with you, that was more about just an overview kind of what you're doing there. I mean, the beard oils, the soaps are big for you. And I wanted to point out is that in the store, which opens tomorrow, because we actually have a value-added store folks can go and check out, which includes a lot of the products we make here on the farm. But through that, they'll get a link to your store where they can buy your soaps.
Yes. Yeah. So we offer everything on our website as far as everything that doesn't have short shelf life. So we don't ship our kimchis, obviously.
Yeah.
That is just for local delivery. But as far as our soaps, our beard balms, beard oils, lip balms, things like that are all on our website. And we're also offering everyone that is involved a 20% off everything on our website. And I think that's listed as it's value 20 is the promo code. But yeah, it's that is not as much of our business because we're such a local entity, I would say. We have built ourselves as our farmers market is 1.5 miles from our house, and everything that we do is very local. We deliver local. We have our farmers market local. So about 10% of our business is online. So it's not a lot of our business. I'm looking to grow that 100% because we have a lot of our products that we can ship and ship easily through our website. But yeah, I mean it's obviously a growing business, but like I said, we're more focused locally, and actually we're looking for a commercial space right now. So we're trying to grow and grow because I don't know, whoever's watching right now doesn't understand. We're in a community. We cannot have people come to our house and buy things. So we can't have a farm store here legally. We have to have commercial property be able to do that or sell at a farmer's market. So that's what we currently do. We sell at a farmer's market and some of our products at local stores. But other than that, we're kind of handcuffed. we can't sell from our house.
Yeah. Woody, I think your phone is giving you problems again. We're getting that buzzing through there again.
Let me turn it off.
But Jessica's back.
I made it back.
Yes. I don't know if you heard my question about.
Can we all take a moment? Wait. No. I think we all need to take a moment of silence for rural internet.
Yes, and we should talk about how that should be in the next farm bill. That literally, to me, should be the top line is a Starlink for every farmer.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's give everybody equal internet access, because when the trees grow a little tall around here, I'm going to be having to take some chainsaw classes is what I'm going to have to do.
Well, you have 2 farmers that love chainsaws. So, I know I'll be visiting there, but then you have another one further down the road that he really loves his chainsaw.
He really does.
Actually, that really brings me to a point is that one of the resources we are giving folks in the All Access Pass, I'm actually going to pull something up because I created it today and I'm a little proud of it. So it's, let's see here. I got to find it really quick here. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Let me see. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. We created, whoops, I'm going to have to pull this down, stop screen. We had every single one of our speakers. We asked them 2 questions. The first question was, what advice would you give to somebody first starting out? Like what piece of transformational advice they couldn't do without? And so we put that together in an ebook, and that is great advice. I mean, there's so much good information in there. And then we also created this ebook called The Essential Tools for the Value-Added Journey. And so that's, again, Jessica has one of her favorites in there. Woody shares some of his. I'm going to give Jessica's away because actually it's mine too this year. It's my new favorite, which is the BCS. I'd never owned one. This fall, I'd always owned a couple
I'm
other types
telling
of
you,
rototillers
makes a
and stuff.
That's
It was a game changer for us. And again, I have big tractors. We have big rototillers, but there's something about that PDR on the back that it helps us fulfill our dream of as low tillage as possible. But it also is manageable. It's much quieter. It's very fuel efficient. And yeah. So we do have a picture of Jessica with her baby in the book.
I love it.
So Jessica, back to the bits and pieces of flowers. I think you said you sell that as kind of like a decorating box or something.
My internet's still jumping. I'm trying. I'm hanging on.
What if you actually turned off your video?
Oh no.
Let me try.
And then all you're
love
doing
that.
is the audio stream.
Then we can't see.
I didn't do all my makeup for you people today. I'm so sorry. Let's
Yes.
see if I can get it to.
So now we're finding
No,
out that
it
my
really
farm is so
makes my
small,
face.
but I live in the middle of
Michael,
everything.
It really
Have
enjoys
internet.
this.
Gosh, how
Yeah,
do we do
you
that
see the benefits you get there. I can have a farm.
I can't have a farm store, but I have great internet.
Yeah. We're surrounded by train tracks and an industrial park, but we also have great internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Well,
turned off her audio.
Just turned off her audio. We got to try to get her audio
That's
back
okay.
on. But
I
I mean, yeah,
not
that is, this is something that actually we're going to talk about in the summit. And I actually think it's a great thing that we'll pause here and talk about is location. Where, Jessica, if you get to her farm, it's beautiful. You can see so far. They've done a beautiful job. There's great big iron sign, which she talks about that spells out LOVE, love. And it's beautiful. And they decorate it all season. And she's going to talk all about that in the summit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she just can't get internet.
And I can't have a sign. If I have a sign, then I have.
I can't get internet, but I am here. I figured
Look,
out.
now
So, by the way, I wish you could see the computers. Yeah, I'm trying. It might let us talk with me. It might say, no, those Virginia mountains just are protecting her from anything that wants to cross over.
They are beautiful, though.
They are. I miss
I
them.
love Virginia mountains.
Yeah, they're great.
So Jessica, Woody was talking about 10% of his business is online. What percentage of your business is now online?
Okay, so this is crazy. We didn't realize how much of an oddity we were because we kind of built our cart before we ever had 100% online commerce based for our farm until really opening the farm store. It was literally less than 3% that didn't roll through the website. So it was virtually everything online. Now that we have the farm store, we are wildly curious, and my mom is pushing on closing out the books to see how much of that actually to our new incorporation of agritourism, which took off faster than what we thought. Not in times we were like, wow, that was intense. Way more people than we expected. But our farm store, and we are very destination in our little area. While we're 3 miles from the Interstate 81, which is major commerce for our area, and it's from 64. We are on a gravel road, and you're not going to pass by unless you know to come out here. So we this year opened a farm store July 16th, and it has had daily sales since we have opened, which not out of us. Now I will tell you my favorite part is I put a little bench out front so that I can let all my old farmer friends hang out, and we just like chew the chaw and talk about all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm just recreating the old diner hangout here at the farm. But it's a fun kind of place just to drop in. And that has worked. But yeah, up until that, it was everything went through the website and pretty much shipped out.
Wow. But you've built yourself now as that destination, and I would assume that you have a higher price point too than, let's say, a $2.50 bunch of radishes, so that your sales, anytime someone drops in, your average sale is, I'm assuming it's got to be up there.
Yes. Okay, so it's gift sales and repeat customers that want to be engaged that we really focus on. For us, what we like to say, the flowers are our tool. That's what we are using as the transaction. What people are buying is an experience with us. And we all have a way of delivering that in our own unique facets and features with our business model. But we really have to kind of change the focus because, value added means that we're adding value to a commodity product. And all of us are working with, at the core, commodity or add value to. So lots of ways to think about that, whether that feels super tangible or not, you can still add value. And we should look at all different ways that we are adding value along the interaction with our customers, because that, I do feel like, is becoming increasingly important with our upcoming buying demographic. They really want a connection through all of it and to know all different touches. So we have to level up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I love that, because something tactile is just missing in our very internet-based world, right? Like, we would just want to go and visit. We want to feel, we want to touch, we want to see, we want to experience.
Yeah.
That's something we've experienced here, that it's just like, we'll drive hours to come and pick strawberries, or we'll, go out of our way to do something because it's an honest experience, not just something on your phone or your computer.
I just had a conversation with one of our team members who's into herbalism, and she was talking about how she paid $150 extra just to have the written part of the course. Instead of, obviously, you have the online person, you just log in and you watch the videos. She paid $150 just to actually get
a physical
book
Yeah.
printed for herself. But I absolutely agree. And I think we have shifted away. It used to be 50 years ago, there was nothing digital, nothing online. You had to go to the store. And now, you can buy anything online.
Well, it was like when we did that canning class, the lady was like, I'm so sick and tired of watching videos about canning. Like, I just want to stand in someone's kitchen and do it with them. And I was like, okay. Because I'm thinking, like, you can watch this on the internet. Like, you don't need to come stand in my kitchen and watch me do this. But yeah, along with that, like that's one of the things that I think we bring is a story, especially to the farmers market. It's kind of I've been going back and forth, me and my wife, for the last 4 years. We've been wanting to go out to Virginia, or we were looking for Vermont and Maine. We wanted to buy a farm, 20, 25 acres. But then we keep thinking, and part of it is the fact that we have 3/4 of an acre and we're making it work, and it's a story, and we have 50, 60 customers that come to the market. And not only that, is we work the market. Me and my wife work the market. We don't have employees, so when they come to the market, they get to talk to us. So it's part of the experience. I think people are searching for that experience right now. The other day I did a soap workshop at the farmers market. Nice. Was tough because our 5-year-old Arlo cannot be at the farmers market while we're both working. So we had to get grandma to watch Arlo. But it worked out great, and it was amazing. There were 30 people sitting there just enthralled with me making soap right there on a 45-degree day outside. And luckily I have a generator for my cool bot.
Yeah,
so
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, so I was able to do that with my, stick blender and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like those are the kind of things I think people want a story now. They want to be part of the farm, part of the
Yes.
story. And I think that is very important right now.
Mm. And
I like it.
Jessica, you're doing a really great
Well, I
job
think
with
it's
your story.
engaging experiences.
Yes.
What? Oh, well, it's engaging experiences, and that's something we are like seeing right now and react to. So, for example, we're in the holiday throes, right? We have wreaths, and my wreaths maybe cost more than some of the other wreaths in the area, and you're going to drive out here on a gravel road to come get this wreath that you're going to have to spend a little bit more on. So how do I do that? So what we did was, because we have a farm store, we took our barn that we had always made our store, which meant we had more space, and we actually set up all of our wreaths. So we had our blank wreaths up there and a full dried bouquet and embellishment bar stand. So one of our people is constantly up there making new wreaths to engage. We have all the stations set up to come during our hours, so you're not trying to fit into a certain holiday. It was our own. We're like, man, we can never make everybody happy when we try to set up these one-offs. So what we go ahead and set up that DIY or that craft, that experience here they want to use. And we coin, we say like, come make a new tradition here.
I like it.
You can make a beautiful wreath for in the barn. It's been a wonderful way for us to engage. I had you were talking about Arlo. I had my son Levon 7. So he's a little dangerous with the glue gun, but he likes to be good help in the barn. And Levon found, I guess, Mom at some point bought like a box of Oriental Trading Post, like miniature Santa stocking. I don't know why, but he found it. Of course he did. And Levon started making these little dry. This is a great kid activity for when Mom comes. So we have working on how we can continue to bridge different people, tactile arm, as much time or as little time as they would like to sink in.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think a common theme, I mean, Joel talks about it for day one, and it's through the whole thing, is a lot of the value add comes back to what it's like ideas that just came to you either from customers or like, oh, I should do this. Yep. And it's, we had dried comfrey leaves, and I was like, I don't want to sell these because my wholesale price is too low. And so what can I do with that? Oh, I could do this, 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 and this. And now we have literally jars of salve all over my office. So, because I don't do anything small. It's what was it? 2 gallons. We made 2 gallons. That was just the oil.
Yeah, I know.
And we should have videoed the kitchen.
That would have been really fun because it was like you've never seen 2 people just figuring something out on the fly as much as we were.
Yeah. So we did not know that you have to heat the oil before you can add the beeswax.
Well, we knew that instinctually in our hearts,
yes.
But we did it anyway because I think we just wanted to see what was going to happen. And then we were like, oh.
So
of course that didn't work.
Basically, we had a bowl of oil.
It looks like
basically like strings of beeswax all the way through it. Then we heated it on the stove.
We figured it out. We did it just right.
Okay, did he clean up all the wax? That's my real cringy question.
The toughest part, by the way,
clean up all of the
cleaning up the wax.
Well, these were my words. Before we do this, I don't want you trashing all my kitchen utensils with that wax.
No, you have to have the wax.
I'm still cleaning off of certain things.
Sorry, folks. Oh my gosh, we do need to pause though because Heidi brought up something very important in the chat. is the giveaway. So today we had an awesome giveaway, and I have to actually go figure it out really quick. What we
Heidi
actually
wants to win.
Heidi, I'm sure Heidi wants to win. Gosh, where is the giveaway? All right, just a minute. Maybe take me a second to pull up what we actually gave away today. Because we do a giveaway every single day. And so unfortunately, they do kind of blend together eventually. Tomorrow we have a really cool one.
Like beeswax. They just
No,
put
there's
on
no
everything.
there's no beeswax in tomorrow's giveaway. Okay, here we go. So the summit giveaway for today, what we're drawing for tonight is an all access pass, of course,
What do you like?
a Start Your Farm intensive, some jam and crazy cranberry granola from
Ooh.
one of our farmers in the summit in Northern Ohio, a summit t-shirt, and we've got Farmstead Fire Cider and a grow your own vegetable course. That is a value of $1,169.
That's a nice giveaway.
Oh yeah, it's a really awesome giveaway.
For the fire starter alone.
Well, yes, the fire cider is pretty good.
I want Woody and Jessica both to take fire cider. I just feel like we should have mailed everybody fire cider, and it's just like people do like shots on a live, man.
I don't have any with me. I would take it.
Yes. All right. So today's winner, and we pick these with commentpicker.com. So we have this whole thing that goes in, crawls the website, pulls all the people that submitted and them. But today's winner is Anna Butler.
Ooh.
And Anna, if you are on the live, obviously reach out. Otherwise, the team will reach out through Facebook, hopefully, to get you. But absolutely, congrats, Anna. And
congratulations.
yes,
we will send you some fire cider.
yeah, she is going to get some fire cider. Yes,
I mean, and
yes.
focusing on the fire cider.
So
I would like to try it.
Jessica, yes, and getting Jessica, all of them to do the fire cider challenge. I'm sure we could get Jessica's entire team to do it. That would be really fun. And then they could submit a video because we're going to have this. This is, again, all right, guys, you're getting viral marketing 101 right here. It's going to be like a TikTok trend. Just take the fire cider. And
We're on TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He is, yes. With
I try.
Yes.
I try.
All right, so we are going to also give away another all access pass right now on the live. What we are asking folks to do is to enter. Go ahead and share this on Facebook. Share the stream on Facebook, or share if you're on YouTube. Share with a friend somewhere, and send them an email with something, and then come back and tell us that in the chat that you did share this. And while we wait, Woody, why don't you share your TikTok handles?
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. I was trying to find a way to comment to everybody. I can't comment back. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not signed in or something. But anyways, so we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you just search for Rootbound Farms with an S. So Rootbound Farms, and the logo is a big tree. So that's basically the way you look for it.
Yeah. Jessica, are you on TikTok yet?
Man.
Uh-oh.
I can imagine she would be on TikTok.
I'm sure she, like, if they're not on TikTok.
I'm here. I'm just trying. Listen.
I'm looking.
Let me see.
I don't even know how to get on TikTok. I mean, I downloaded it.
Well,
usually people just send me TikTok videos.
Yeah, that's how I ended up getting on TikTok.
Right?
People sending me videos.
I mean, I think if you're on Instagram, it's easy.
At Harmony Harvest on TikTok, 14,300 likes.
Man.
They have the funniest videos.
They do. So I'm going to go ahead and share this in the
look up Woody's too.
Chat here. Yeah.
Farms.
Let's see. Yep, there's Rootbound Farms. We're going to share that one too.
See, as someone who, we lived on a third of an acre in our old house, and we grew so much food and we did so much stuff that, like, I get really jazzed when I see people doing stuff on 3/4 of an acre, because, I mean, as idyllic and lovely as 25 acres in Vermont would be, it's just, this is very doable to like do a life that is sustainable on not a ton of land.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
love
it's rather interesting because when my accountant was telling me, think of all the farm tools you have, you have to account for them. And I was literally, I think I put together $2,500 worth of farm tools, and
right.
that was me stretching it, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, you need no overhead,
Yeah.
and also I really need employees, but I don't have them. I
Sure.
do. I need like a full-time employee because it's getting rather insane right now. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, if you can do it. You can definitely do it, and it's less overhead. 3/4 of an acre. I laugh whenever I see somebody growing vegetables on 200 acres. I look at, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
There's lots of farms around here that do that, and I just look at their GPS navigated tractors, and then I'm like, oh God, the overhead.
Yeah. So a couple of great points about that. The beautiful thing about doing value added is, yes, you can make a full-time living on just 3/4 of an acre or even
Yeah.
a quarter of an acre.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing. And the other thing with the 200-acre farm, and again, as being in agriculture, I know all farmers are working hard, doing a great job at what
Yes.
they do. But what I will say is a 200-acre farm, they have way more waste than a 3/4 acre farm.
We have zero, almost zero waste. Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if we're thinking
Everything goes
about,
into compost.
yeah, if we're using about utilization of resources, the
Yes.
smaller the farm typically is going to be way better at utilizing those resources
Hmm.
at a more natural way. All right, Savannah, we've got to pick someone in here.
Oh,
Someone that said they've shared.
Oh gosh.
Do you want to pick somebody here?
Can you like count them and I can like pick a number?
Nope, I can't do. Okay, nope, I can't. You just got to pick somebody. Just tell me when to stop scrolling.
Okay. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Stop.
Right there.
Yep.
All right, so we've got Rolling 54 on YouTube. Congrats. Yeah, congrats for winning the all access. I'm going to go ahead and write this down right here because the team does not like it if I don't.
Really? They don't like it when you
No,
make their life
Rolling
difficult?
54. All right, on YouTube, you're going to have to reach out to hello@growingfarmers.com and they will go ahead and get you all hooked up. Yeah, congrats.
You're welcome, Rolling.
Yes, congrats everybody, and thanks everyone for sharing all of this. We will do another giveaway as we get closer to the end, and that's going to be for some other awesome products. So yeah, I just want to kind of go ahead and say that. Now, what we've got here is we've got some questions that people pre-submitted, and I really thought they were great questions. And so I actually wanted to kind of have people that are on so far tonight share those, talk about those. First one's a doozy. All right. So the question is, how do I find time to value add when I'm struggling to get my work done right now?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I guess it
What was
depends
the
on.
question?
So Jessica, yeah, the question is, how do I find time to add value when I'm struggling to get my work done?
So I think it's important to maybe look at every step of what we're doing and determine if we're already doing things that are adding value. I think there is a little bit of a mental shift too that can happen. I am literally walking through my house to get to better internet, so I apologize for background distraction. I think it's important, though, that we look at some of the things that we're already doing, and maybe there's very small steps that we can weave in. If you are already signing or doing a newsletter, maybe your sign off can also tie back to a product or a product story. You're already using that for updates. There's some added value there. There are ways, I think, that along the steps of what we're already doing, we can find small rhythms. When we have a few successes, it's easier to kind of see how to weave bigger ideas in.
And I'll piggyback off that, and also constant reflection for us, and really thinking about what you're doing, if you're doing an action in your business that is causing too much time and there's not enough benefit from that, then getting rid of it. So I think the constant reflection is key, and I that's part of some of the content that I created, was talking about some of that reflection, and having to really go back and think, is this really making us money to survive on, or is this beneficial to the business? And so, as a teacher, while I was teaching, I learned very quickly to work smarter and not harder.
Mhm.
That's what I would say to all the new teachers that would come in, and they'd be like, how do you do all this, and you teach these kids, and and you don't seem to be flustered, and you leave at 4 o'clock when the kids leave, and all this. And I'm like, well, I've learned over the last 16, 18 years to work smarter and not harder. So I think it's constant reflection. It's also experience, you know.
Yeah.
Woody, that's so good. And I'm going to say that as a female run farm, we say that all the time. Work smarter, not harder.
Hmm.
And so that just led me to, think a little bit more on that question. And to be real honest as well, I think sometimes value added saves us the strain of things that we're doing without questioning. Like, I'm so busy. Okay, case in point. I'm so busy trying to pre-make all of these orders to go out and hustle. We said, why don't we open a pick your own? Oh my gosh, we stopped having to pick the flowers, and people got the experience of doing it, and they were
Yep.
so happy. And I was like, wow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that just saved a whole field of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
Yeah, we couldn't get
field is a
workers.
time element now. That's awesome. Field of time.
A field of time.
I love it.
Real, right? Oh, I should put that on a shirt. That's all.
Save the whole field of time.
Right.
I'd buy it.
I
I have a small field, though. I have a very small field.
Still, it doesn't matter how big it is. You know how long it takes to go out there and actually harvest stuff.
Mhm.
This is truly a labor of love. So you have to kind of figure out where you want to put your love, and not get, I think, too dialed into all the steps of like, this is stressful, this is taxing. Okay, so is there a value added or an experience factor that you can weave in to eliminate that and upsell your business?
Mhm. Yeah. And I'm gonna say a couple things. The first thing that Woody said is like really evaluate everything you are doing. And we read here on the farm, we've had some different things that we've had to work through in the last couple months. And one of the biggest first thing was, what is working? Okay, so we listed those things. What is not working? What things aren't selling? What things are we struggling against?
Yep.
And we looked at those things like, okay, cut. So we went back to the minimum viable product, the stuff we knew was working. We know that lettuce sells. We know that the fire cider sells. So those are the things we focus on. We kind of dropped some of these other things that just weren't quite as effective as they could have been. And that did open our time back up and basically space to start working through some of these new value added things that we want to do. Especially if you have kids. I mean, we've got 3 kids. My wife thankfully manages them most of the time. But I mean, like some of our time is just like at night after the kids are in bed. We will just start. Okay, so we're sitting here. I'm working on the computer, designing labels. Vanna's doing something else. But I think the big thing is running those numbers too, and that's one of the big things we teach in our Small Farm University, which is our membership site for thriving farmers. But we really spend a tremendous amount of time on numbers, because one of the things people don't realize and is exactly what it costs them to grow a crop. A lot of people say, "Why I make so much money on tomatoes?" But tomatoes take 26, 28 weeks in your greenhouse, and you have to prune them every single week. Some of these other crops actually make way more money. So one of the things I have written on my wall, it's actually where I can see it right over here, is a number, and it's $8.57. And what that number is what every single 100-foot bed, because we work our farm in 100-foot beds, it costs in overhead to have that bed every single year. Okay, so basically, if we take our taxes, our mortgage for the property, our farm manager, our insurance, all those things added together, split it out about how many 100-foot beds we have around the farm and break it down, that bed, before it makes us any money, has to make $8.57 a week. Now, green beans are a 12-week crop for us, 12 to 14 weeks. That means that bed has to return 80, 90, about $100 before we make any money on it. Now, we did some beans you picked this year because we didn't have time to pick them. And we sold them at a certain price. And when we looked at them, how many pounds we made for that bed and how much that cost, we realized that we lost money on you picking green beans. So guess what's not on the sheet next year to grow? Because we're brutal.
Green beans.
I mean, I'm gonna grow some green beans, just for
Yes, my wife will have her little patch.
No, but it's really using the numbers kind
Yeah.
of guide your decisions. And that's one of my, there's really 3 strong core pillars to business. You really need to make sure that you have your marketing, you have your operations, and you have your financial pillars in order. And I think when you really start dialing into numbers, it makes decision making actually easier. I know for me, who tends to be just a tad emotional, dramatic, live from the heart, I can get really into making a decision. But if you start just making decisions based off of numbers, it takes a lot of that out of it. And it makes it, easy to put a formula together that builds a profitable business.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what I am going to do with green beans, because again, I'm always thinking angles of how can I market this? How can I sell this? Well, we are going to get a bunch of stock panels, and we are going to make a tunnel out of stock panels and then grow pole beans up the stock panels. And then we are going to have Ohio's longest bean tunnel. And we're going to market the heck out of that. And kids are going to come and run through that, think that's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yep.
And they're going to pick them and pay us $5 a pound.
There you go.
I think that's an excellent idea.
We will let you know next summit.
I was gonna say, we'll let
Tune
you know.
in next December 1st for the
Yes.
Summit 2023.
And I'm going to ask about how the green bean picking went.
You heard it here first. Ohio's longest bean pole tunnel. Pole bean tunnel.
Yeah. So anyway, that I think right there is kind of, we just kind of went through that question. How do I add value? Well, first you slow down. Then you think about it. You run your numbers.
Slow down? What?
Then you figure out, is there a way we can actually use this to add value that's going to make us money? And we'll see. We'll let you know next year if the bean tunnel does. And it may not, but it'll be another experiment. We'll get a little further down the road and we'll enjoy it.
Well, I think another good example of like how you find the time is like even with our sweet potatoes, like just chopping those up. I mean, were those a profitable?
Oh yeah, very profitable.
They were really profitable.
Yes.
And it was like we were already sorting to
Well,
like
no.
the sweet potatoes.
Don't lie. We had a few voles. They may have taken a few little nibbles out of a few little sweet potatoes. And because we had so few sweet potatoes, we had so many sweet potatoes.
We had so many sweet potatoes.
We were like, we got to do something with these. So we started chopping, and then people started paying us 3 times the amount of money.
But also we had people are like, I never know what to do with these squash. I never know what to do with this. It's such a lot, but if you chop it up for someone, it feels more consumable. And so it was just one of those things that we were already kind of having to like wrestle with this thing. Yeah. So it didn't feel like it added a ton of time. Yeah. Because it was just like already not a crisis. I don't want to say that. It was just like this thing we had to think about.
Yeah.
I love when the value added actually solves a problem.
Right.
Brilliant.
Me too.
Yes. Value add. Now, one thing I will say, because it's really interesting. I did a post in one of the online groups about the camera and sensor systems we use here on the farm. We spend a fair amount of money on the system. It gives us incredible data. It allows us to track. We have customers on the farm almost every single day of the week. It allows us to track all that sort of stuff. It allows us to do all sorts of things. And I did this in a great big long post and shared the different systems we use and how it worked together. And some guy said something on there. Well, it must be nice to be rich. And well, if you know anything about me, that probably raised a few hackles. So I happened to click over to the guy's profile. And I realized in the first 12 posts that there were like 8 different things he was doing that was taking this money, which he could have been rich with. He was doing online gaming with a massive like $5,000, $6,000 system because he showed the system. He was doing wakeboarding. He was doing this kayak stuff. He was going to these different places. And I did a comment and I responded. And I said, look, we have made intentional life decisions and intentional life choices to build the lifestyle that we have desired. Like that is a lifestyle where we own our land, where our kids can play with us as we're walking the farm in the evening. That's one of the best things to me. That's like literally my favorite time is when we're as a family walking the farm, the kids are running ahead, they're pulling a carrot, baby Kate's in the wagon, she's got a massive rutabaga because we just happened to pick one as we were going through the farm. That literally is like my happy place. And we have made those sacrifices to get to that point. And again, this person who put this question in, again, I'm not picking on you and saying you're not doing things right, so you won't be able to do this. What I'm saying is to get to where you want to go with this, there may be times where you need to go small, slow down, stop certain things to be able to go faster at another point in your life and your journey.
Or Michael, I could just tell you what a troll bot is.
I was going to say that too. Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Really
know. And
advanced
he was being a troll. And the only reason I responded is I thought there might be a chance that someone else could have gotten something, learned something from how I responded. So yes, you're absolutely right. I do tend to get a little too involved in online discussions.
Speaking of emotional, I think that your response was good though, because even if no one said anything, sometimes you can sit on the outside of something and go, "Oh, well, they've got it all figured out." You know,
we
or like
learn a lot through other people's dialogues and what we can see within. So I think that's also a good thing for us to remember as we're all small business owners out here too, is that it's really important to use that customer service angle as a value add and to always continue to communicate the message, the story. Don't be afraid of when there's friction points. That's another opportunity to turn it around. And from my experience, make lifelong friends usually. But you know, there's all those opportunities. And I think sometimes, especially with all the myriad of platforms and social media and places where people can easily come back to us, remember that sometimes our voice isn't necessarily for them to hear, but for everyone else that's out there too. And so it's just another way to continue to kind of endorse yourself, endorse your brand, and to represent that value.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, to your point, Jessica, the best, most engaging posts that we put out on our social media are the ones where we talk about the deep things of owning a business or how we grow and why we grow like we do. We had a post about, it was a picture of Simon on his bike, and we talked about how we are farming for his future. We're not farming for ourselves. We're farming so that when he inherits the land, it will be richer. It will be more organic. It will be safer, and for his kids. And that post, I don't know, that pretty much went viral. And we had people, show up and talk to us about this. Hey, I saw that post. That meant so much to me. That, again, it comes back. Woody, you mentioned it. Jessica, you mentioned it. Story. How does story affect how you how you communicate your message of your farm?
Along with that is transparency too. I find that transparency with your customers. My wife would get on me so bad for this, but I'm so honest with my customers. When they come up to me, they're like, "Why don't you have this soap this week?" I'm like, "Well, we messed that batch up." Or we're not putting vanilla in our soaps anymore because there is no such thing as vanilla essential oils. So all we use is essential oils in our soaps. So we just got rid of it, and that was some of people's favorite soaps contained vanilla. And just being honest with them and being like, sorry, we were using vanilla oil for the last 3 years and we didn't realize it wasn't essential. That they were selling it as essential, but like just being honest and telling your customers whenever you make a mistake, transparency.
Yeah.
Woody, you're so right on that, because honestly, it's so much easier to keep up with just being honest.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
So,
you don't
like,
have
we
to
gotta,
think too much if you're honest all the time.
that's
You don't have to
right.
be like some of these politicians out there.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, it kind of when you put it out there like that, people feel very much more engaged with the
Oh yeah.
story. It doesn't disconnect you as much. It feels much more relatable. And just like your example where you walked away from the vanilla,
Mhm.
why? Because that was the passion to your value added of
Yes.
your brand. And so, it makes people, wow, like there's more credibility.
Mhm.
Kind of when we share the struggles along the way of holding true to our brand convictions and to the values that we're bringing forth. And I think when we use that as an empowerment tool, it kind of gives us a little boost of confidence. Like, okay, I can go out there and tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, there's always a way to portray that. I won't tell them when my kids are beating each other with broomsticks. They get to see that firsthand. Come to the farm, see it in person. Um, no, but I mean the struggles of trying to balance family life and business life and all the
Yes.
nuances, it can be intimidating to hide from that, but when you also share that and just the daily struggles, people feel much more connected. And I think that we're all looking for those connections. Like even in our business transactions, we all just want a friend. So when people feel more relatable, when we're really candid about what's going on, it's easier to work through those things. A lot can be solved with just some chit chat.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So
Oh
in
yeah.
the chat, Jess Gonzalez says, "Can you use vanilla extract?" And you cannot in soap making. So soap making, vanilla extract will come out smelling like nothing. It probably has something to do with the saponification process, and you're making like a soap alcohol kind of base, and vanilla extract is in alcohol, so that's probably the reason why.
Mm.
You can only use a vanilla anytime you have a soap, you need to use a vanilla oil. And essential oils have to be steam distilled. And for some reason the vanilla bean cannot be steam distilled, as much as research as I put into it.
Yeah.
So we got away from that after 3 years of using it. Go figure. But yeah, vanilla extract we've tried, trust me.
Yeah.
So we do use vanilla extract in our lip balms.
Mm,
So
that
when
makes
we
sense.
do lip balm and we have an orange vanilla lip balm, vanilla extract is perfect for that. Yep.
That
Nice.
sounds delicious. I think
Look
I
it
It
up.
is amazing. It's,
lip balm.
we're selling a lot of that. Trust me. A lot of
I'm
kids love it. Trust me.
right. Yeah, I'm like a 6 year
The
old with a
teenagers
lip
love it.
balm now.
Like a
Yes.
creamsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We call it orange sherbet.
Oh, nice.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Yes. I want some of that. I'm an orange sherbet kind of person.
Yep.
I think it's Rosanna asked, I'm actually very interested in how these businesses are structured, like the farm is a business itself and pays you a salary. The value add is a separate business that buys from the farm, etc. Now, Jess, I think your farm is just set up as one, probably an LLC, because pretty much your farm is value added. I mean, everything you produce is a value add, and you're adding additional things the entire way through. Correct?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Our farm is formulated as an LLC, and
So are we.
yeah, salary or hourly or it's hourly. Hourly would be wonderful for us that work around the clock.
Yeah,
So
right.
just called an employee draw
No
when you
such thing.
need enough to keep the lights on.
Yes.
No, I have gotten finally to a structured place of pay for our top level. I will tell you, it took me more years than I want to confess. It was like 7 or 8 years before I was actually able to salary myself out and then slowly transition the rest of our family, because we are family owned, me, my sister, and my mom. And we've always tried to be higher paying in our area, which I compare to some areas and I'm like, oh, you guys probably think I'm horrible. I'm trying to do the best I can out here in Shenandoah Valley. But we try to pay our employees a really healthy wage and encourage whatever balance looks like for them in their personal life. So that's how our business is formed. I do also have a secondary business as well that is wholesale, and Harmony Harvest buys from them. So we do
Hmm.
buy in that way, as well as our store works with other local artisans. So we do things on consignment that come in and add out. But as far as kind of our value added, like our dried wreaths, those we are value added at the end sale for those.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Woody, you're just one LLC, right?
So yeah, we're one LLC, and the beauty of having an LLC when you live at your house, your business is at your house, is I still have not drawn a paycheck at all. But pretty much everything, and this is a little bit that don't tell anybody this, but like everything we do here is Root Bound Farms. So pretty much everything that I pay for is out of Root Bound Farms.
Yeah.
And you know, and it happens to be that everything that we do is from our house, so that works out that way. And I have a very intelligent accountant. Let's just say that.
Yes.
Very intelligent accountant.
So we are set up a little bit differently. We have an LLC, which owns the equipment, interacts with government entities, and then we have a private membership association, and that basically is a private domain structure. And so basically that company is, well, that membership is what people buy from. And there's a couple reasons we set up ourselves that way. I'm actually discussing that whole setup on Sunday. We have a live session on that because I know that would be pretty popular for folks to be interested in. We are considering, though, because our value added is very different than our production. Like the production farm grows ginger. We sell that ginger wholesale, we sell that retail, and then we sell that ginger also to our value added leg, which produces the fire ciders, the ginger tonics, all that sort of thing. We are considering separating that out completely because that will be a very different type of company. We will be building a certified kitchen on farm. And so, yeah, there's be some reasons why we may just break that whole thing off with another LLC, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It kind of has to see how we grow.
Well, I definitely want to check in and hear about that. I'll tell you one of the things that I've kind of been personally digging into a little bit, talking about value added. Sometimes I think we can do value added from the other side too. I'm a really big proponent of building a business that works well for and in my community. And as kind of my ideas and thoughts of what I could grow here, develop, I've been looking at things like ESOPs and different employee-owned type of operations, and different ways that we can even add value back from everyone that's involved in what we're trying to do here. So it's really intriguing to me to hear some of the different ways that businesses have been structured. I think that we're all dynamic and unique. So it's a really good idea to kind of see how different people have decided to set themselves up so that we can all pick the best route for us.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think someone is asking about the schedule. So there is a schedule that's been added to the hub. Now, I just want to make a point is that at 6 a.m., we have, I think it's 13 or 14 different speakers, and those are all released at once. So the videos go live. You can watch them throughout the day. You don't need to like tune in at 6 a.m. for a specific video or 7 a.m. for a specific video. We're not, what's that word? Masochist?
Masochists?
Masochists, yes. Isn't that the word I'm looking for? Like, Woody, what's the definition of that word?
I don't even know, man.
Okay.
I mean,
we're not going to Google it right now.
yeah. Well, I'm not going to Google it. But,
We're not
You're
McMillian.
going to have to bring it back to Shenandoah Valley farmer language.
You're not being malevolent. You're not.
No,
McMillian?
we are malevolent because malevolent is good, right?
No, but benevolent is good.
Benevolent.
Malevolent is bad. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Anyway,
And they
I'm
trust
gonna
us
Google
late.
it.
It's getting
they
later,
trust
you know.
us with words that are crop names that have Latin in them. I'm really worried.
yeah, Kathleen, I think is like pain. Yeah, I think that is basically what it means. We're not gonna. Yes,
Trying to inflict pain.
we're not trying to inflict pain. You can watch them throughout the day, anything you want.
Or you like pain.
Yeah, unless you. Yeah. Oh, that is right. Yes,
Right,
that's what it means.
she's saying,
Yes, you like pain.
like-
Yes.
Yeah.
And we do have some English majors here.
What time is it?
Right now it's 8:06. If you've got to go, I know you had things. To
No,
go on,
I'm just thinking we are acting like it's much later. This Time
I mean, it
shift
got
is
dark
not
at
doing
5.
any of
Yeah,
us farmers
I mean,
good.
I mean,
and
how many,
Ohio gets darker later, right?
about 15 minutes, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not.
You guys are kind of like on the line over there.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are. We're on a
Yeah.
lot of lines.
Yeah, we're really close to them.
Yes. So we've got people talking about lavender. Guys, unfortunately, I did not get to, I really tried to get this lavender farm that was in Michigan that I visited. Maybe, you know what I'm going to do for you all access members? Tomorrow night, we have an all access exclusive live Q&A with speakers. A bunch more speakers are showing up. I think we have 6 tomorrow night. I will bring up my slides of this lavender farm, how this farm did it. I think they're easily making 6 figures, maybe multiple 6 figures. 2 full-time jobs I know directly from the farm, and they were all paid really, really well. You gonna head out?
I was going to. Did you
Yes.
need more water?
Nope.
I have to go put the baby to bed.
Yes. Well,
She's
thank you
fine.
for hanging in with us.
You're welcome.
And
I never got to give my spiel about being how I've added to our value added. I had a little spiel prepared and everything.
He needs to
we will
give
have
you.
to bring you back for another guest appearance.
You can come back tomorrow night, you know?
Yes.
I might. All right. Have a good evening.
All right.
All right.
So yeah,
Good night.
we do have lavender. Some of our lavender is actually right here. This is a little bouquet we have from the farm. But there's English there's culinary lavender, and then the lavender you use for essential oils. What's that called, Woody?
Oh, we use well, it depends on where it's from. You can use any. I believe you can use any lavender for essential oils.
Yes, but
But
there's specific
culinary would be
lavender.
more expensive to to probably produce and use. Yes.
Yeah, so there is certain lavenders that have tremendous amount of essential oils, and we actually grow those. This
English,
is
I
one,
think.
like literally, I just pulled it over and like it just went through the air and I could smell it. Oh
Is
yeah.
it? Did you say you're growing English?
No, we are growing sensational and phenomenal. And those are
Okay,
2
gotcha.
varieties which are patented. I cannot sell you legally them. They cost an
Gotcha.
atrocious amount. Unfortunately, they do
Yes.
die in the winter, which drives me nuts.
Uh-huh.
But lavender is big money. There's a lavender farm here in Ohio that actually has like 20, 30 varieties, and people come from all over to go do that. Jessica, do you grow any lavender?
We do actually just grow a small bit,
Okay.
but another one of those places where we really lean into our community. Right down the road from us happens to be White Oak Lavender Farm, which is a large destination and packaging lavender farm. And so we do a lot of collaboration between the 2 of us. They happen to be kind of on the local trail right at the base of the mountain from Massanutten Resort. So it's been a really nice friendship, and ability to bring in someone who can focus on a specific crop, and where we can send them over there. So sometimes my value add is to let other people be the expert and bring them to my farm when it's lavender season.
Well, and actually, I think what you said right there, Jess, is a very important thing, is that a lot of the time there's value added opportunities right in front of our eyes. If we can just get over ourselves, is that we don't want anyone else to get part of the pie. What we have to realize is that, yes.
If we work together, we can make a much bigger pie. That's my thought.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want a really big one.
If you notice, why are gas stations across from each other? Why are car sales lots across from each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments asking what company of oils do I use, and this is a big misconception. A lot of people come to the farmers market and think that I grow all of my herbs in which I make my essential oils from, which is literally impossible on 3/4 of an acre. So we literally grow all the herbs that we grow. We put in our soaps as dry herbs. We don't. We could never grow the amount of essential oils that we need. We're literally buying probably I'd say 5 gallons a week of different essential oils. We're selling 250 to 300 soaps a week. So we are using a company called Bulk Apothecary. Many of you, if you make soap, you probably have heard of them. You can literally get 55-gallon drums of that costs $60,000 of like of lavender oil, so yeah, and what's really cool about Bulk Apothecary when you are buying essential oils from them is they tell you everything about the essential oil, the country it's sourced from, how it was distilled, the notes on the front end, the notes, on the rear end of the smell. It's amazing how the detail that they go into, for the oils. But we use Bulk Apothecary pretty much for all of our essential oils. And yeah, that's it. I mean, that's one of the the biggest misconceptions is people come up to us and they know that we're a farm that grows everything from seed, and they think that we're making the essential oils that go into our soaps. Literally impossible for us. If we had a couple hundred acres, maybe. But it takes a lot of herbs to make essential oils, as Michael could probably tell you.
Yeah.
Didn't you say, Michael, did you say you were going to try to get into lavender?
We
Was that-
have
was it-
about 150 plants, and they did pretty well this summer. Oh, thank you. Kate, you want to say goodnight to everybody? When your jammies? Say goodnight. There we go.
Oh,
Oh, sweetheart.
Can you say hi? Can you wave?
hi.
Say hi to the big talking bubble. I'm sorry. But I can sing sweet lullabies. No, actually, I can't do that either. I hope
She's
you
probably scared of the big bearded man right now.
She used to cry anytime someone was around her with a hat on, so that could be
Uh,
throwing her off. No, you're fine.
I usually have my hat backwards. I'm more formal today, and I put it frontwards.
Oh, thank you for dressing up.
Yeah, dressed up. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, I
there you
love
Oh,
it. Oh, how
Yeah.
sweet.
All right. Good night, kiddo.
You know, Bulk
Um,
Apothecary is actually good as well for some small packaging things as well. I know that we had looked at them. There's a lot of resources as well for us to do collaborations. I'll tell you and be perfectly transparent and honest. When we opened up our retail store, we put our stuff in there, but it was a space we could grow into, so we didn't fill it out by any means. And we knew we wanted to bring in some local artisans that really connected with their stories. But that was a slow roll, and we needed to have products. And there's lots of places where we can look, and I will be perfectly honest. Fair is actually a good resource. There are filters. We were able to find everything that was domestic made. We actually found other flower farms that had product on there. We're able to establish connections and get product. Sometimes we can look at some of the mainstream tools and find local or connections that work within our value added process. That maybe we would initially shy away from and think, oh, that's going to be all that generic stuff. Well, maybe not. Etsy is another place where you can actually filter by your location and find local artisans as well, if you're looking to collaborate. And we've done a lot of just holistic in our community looking around, but collaborations are a great way to increase the value of products, whether you can get with a chef at a restaurant and maybe come out with some private labeling, whether you can get with some of these maker studios and offer supplies for workshops. There's lots of different ways that I think we can even engage within our communities and look at some of the mainstream offerings and how they can still provide value back to us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So kind of moving on. It's a comment is based towards me. It said, "Do we have a commercial kitchen for our kimchi?" Yes, we do in Maryland. You're required to have a license. We actually have a bottling and a catering license. Have no clue why we need a catering license, but it's basically I'll be honest with you. We use what's called a commissary kitchen, so we don't pay at all, which is very unusual because the deal was if I could make my kimchi at the restaurant that I make it at, that they could then sell my kimchi at their market. They have a small grocery store to the right of their restaurant. So it was kind of like no, it wasn't written. It was, it's just a deal we made. And um, yes, so it is required. I believe there's only 3 or 4 states that you do not need a commercial kitchen in order, and a license in order to make kimchi. Yeah, it does not fall under that. Um,
Cottage law.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brain. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
fall under cottage laws. Well, ferments in Maryland. It's like the highest. We pay the highest level of licensing for ferments in Maryland. So
And
yes.
we do have Marcus. Marcus actually was going to join us tonight. I'm not sure what happened, but he will be sharing, I believe it's on day 3 of the summit, all about different licensing levels
Mhm.
and labeling requirements and all that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
yeah. All right. Where do you ferment? You're in a commissary or basically a restaurant kitchen.
So we actually, yeah, it's a restaurant kitchen in which they are done prepping at. It's really hard. It's a horrible situation. Trust me. I'm trying to get my own commercial kitchen. This is why I'm trying to move into a commercial space. They are done prepping at 2 for the restaurant, so I have from 2 to close in order to make my kimchi, and it is a pro. I mean, we're selling 10 to 12 cases a week. So it takes me a full 2 days to make our kimchi. This is something I was going to touch on earlier, and it kind of switched gears, so I didn't touch on it. Kimchi is a product that we sell that we, every 3 months, me and my wife literally sit down and reflect. And we say, is it worth it?
Hmm.
However, it is worth it. The margins are not good. I don't like a 50% margin. I can't stand when something costs me $4 to make and I'm selling it for 8. I don't like that margin. However, the kimchi is a draw. In other words, people come to the market to buy our kimchi, and then they see that we have lettuce, we have plant starts, we have soaps, we have lip balms, we have all these other things, and before they're done, it's a $70 order.
Yeah.
So one of the things about kimchi is it's very powerful. We are the only kimchi bottler and producer in our tri-county area. And when we have it, people come from, 50, 60 miles away to buy it. And it is a big draw. However, the margins are not good. So there's an example of a time in which we reflect on a value added product that is not really worth it for us money wise, but that what we're lacking in money is bringing us money to something else. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's bringing customers to buy other things. In other
It's
words,
basically a lost leader. It's like growing the sweet corn for your
yes,
farm stand, even though you know you lose money on the sweet corn. Yeah.
yes, yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I got off on a tangent, but I wanted to make sure to
No, that was
add that in.
good. That was good. I know we are 19 minutes over the hour here. I want to do one more question, and then we will give away another a T-shirt, some fire cider, and some ginger tea from the Farm on Central here. So I do want to do one more question though, and that question is, and this is I have a huge heart for these folks because again, they are the backbone of a lot of what feeds America, and unfortunately, they get the short stick a lot. She says, "Where can row crop farmers find more value? More background on the farm. We are currently a conventional row crop farm, attempting to branch out into alternative crops. Tried yellow field peas this year, and it was abysmal. We're in a path towards more conservation-based practices, which is impacting the bottom line. We're looking for opportunities to create more farm income as we work through the transitions and see some yield loss."
I think that we're seeing some pivotal change in the landscape of agriculture, which has predominantly been a little slow to shift and evolve compared to other industries. And I think we're going to see some breakup that we're kind of experiencing. There's a contraction of large commodity farmers. Farmers are aging out, and the landscape of how we survive off of the land is definitely changing. Those margins get real tight, and especially with we start having to talk about the government subsidies. Like farmers don't want to have to do that. We want to stay profitable. I think the best thing farmers can really do, regardless
of how they are moving their product off their land is to really fight to establish a brand and a voice for their business. Even if you're a contract grower, I think it is imperative that you create a story to your business that ties people. Networking and business relationships go really, really far. And I think maybe opening up our ears and listening to what the evolution within our community and what the needs are, the tastes and the preferences, even within the rural communities where we reside, is changing. I think there's more interest in things like heirlooms. I think there's a lot of diverse, different type of crops that we can maybe entertain and not have to veer too far from those strong row crop production methods that we know how to do. I understand that this is a big shift and change. And when we have been producing in one way for generations, it's hard and it's scary, especially if we're talking about the survival of our family farm and our legacies. But I think this is a great opportunity to kind of lean into what the progression and evolution within our own rural communities is looking like, and how we might be able to diversify without stepping too far out of our bounds. I've seen a lot of farmers in my area really drilling into some specialty crops and things that we may not have seen in our area very much before. We're seeing a lot more auction houses opening up, helping to funnel some of these larger commodity based production methods in the value added sector. So I think there is some opportunity. I think that it does feel kind of scary to look beyond what we know. But my recommendation is really to establish a strong voice, tell your story, and lean in maybe to what some of these specialty or even looking at hybrid, some of the different, something you can really sink your teeth into, doesn't stray too far from what you know.
Yeah. What you said there was a story and then alternative. Now, a couple things I'm going to get down right to brass tacks. Is some things I've seen conventional row crop farmers doing. So switching to animals and like beef, adding beef and then selling halves and quarters, very profitable, a lot more margin there, a lot more margin than just growing the raw commodity crop. I will say things like producing popcorn and then buying a kettle corn thing and doing kettle corn at festivals, huge money there. The margin on that's incredible. We have on our podcast not too long ago, it's thrivingfarmerpodcast.com. We had a woman in northern states. She shares her journey of going regenerative. And then actually she has now a hammer mill. I believe it's a hammer mill, which was imported from Europe. And she is making flour with that now and selling the flour and cornmeal and all of that. Do a corn maze, do a haunted corn maze, do a pumpkin patch. Agritourism is massive. People will pay $20 a head and line up all night long to go through a haunted corn maze. So, there's so many things you can do. Joel's talk actually shares a number of things that he's seen very conventional farms do. That's tomorrow morning. You can start accessing that talk. So definitely there's a tremendous amount of things that conventional farmers can do. One farmer he knew had an old bank barn. They turned it into an art gallery. He makes his entire income now in 1 month every single fall by having a big art show. So many things that you can do. And Luis asked, do you have to have a special license for selling beef? It has to be processed professionally, usually a USDA or a custom exempt facility. But after that, you can pretty much sell it to whoever you want. So Kim's asking, do we touch on regenerative soil or no-till plantings at all? In this summit, we don't focus on that. So a lot of the farmers we're joining us are talking about that. Let's say Curtis Millsap is doing this very low-till. I know Woody on his stuff does pretty low-till on what he's doing. But this is more of a All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a giveaway, but we're going to wrap at the end with a giveaway. But what I did want to say is tonight is the last night to get all access pass at 50% off. So again, it's the cheapest it's ever going to be. It's just $97. And with 35 presentations, that's $3 a presentation pretty much. So for just $3, you have lifetime access to all of these presentations. Now, it has those 2 ebooks we talked about earlier. It's got a podcast version. There's an app that goes on your phone so you can download the presentations onto there. It's got an amazing workbook my team has put together. Everyone loves the workbook because basically as you go through the presentations, you can make notes. And then in the end, it helps you develop your value-added plan. We also have a group strategy session after the summit. So we give you a couple weeks. And then we have a session with me that all we get together and we brainstorm and we talk about your different business ideas and how that they're going to work out and how you can, start building those on your business. And then we also have the VIP exclusive Q&As. So that's tomorrow night and Saturday night. And again, people like Woody and Jessica are going to get on and we are going to dive deep into your questions and help you craft your value-added business and experience. And, you're going to spend tomorrow deep into talks. You have so many questions. And so jump onto All Access. You can come tomorrow night and Saturday night and go ahead and get those questions answered. And we also have an additional course, which I know some of you it's actually been really popular. And it's actually, once you purchase All Access, you get an opportunity to buy it. But it's a kitchen course. So I know a lot of you are asking about different kitchens and how that all works. Well, my great friend Trisha, she's a maker over in Central Ohio. She does elderberry and elderberry syrup. I think I have some over here somewhere. But she just built a brand new kitchen and had it inspected. And so she walks you through exactly what they're looking for. And she shows you what the inspector, like the different things the inspector talked about when he came and inspected her kitchen. And she passed on first inspection. So I want to let you know that there is that course you can grab. And if you're interested in doing that, we want you to be able to pass in that first inspection. So it has videos, it has a detailed kitchen tour, and it also has worksheets and basically like different spreadsheets and stuff to help you plan out exactly how you're going to go ahead and build that out. So let's see. The brainstorm session, we haven't set the date. Typically, we try to avoid the holidays, but it will be, and we'll give you plenty of notice for that. You will be able to submit questions in for that as well. All right. So that was a little commercial. We will move on because I know we want to get back to our giveaway. So why don't I have you guys in the comments share what was most helpful about tonight's session, or if you joined us last night for the I think we did basically a preview session last night with me, and we talked about all the different ways of value adding that we do here on our farm. If you want to go ahead and put a comment of like what you took away from tonight's session or what you took away from last night's session, that I'll give you all about 5 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and pick a winner for that, basically a bundle of goodies from the farm here.
My takeaway is definitely that I'm going to work on some better internet connection before tomorrow.
You heard about this guy?
I'm going to tell you what.
Starlink, right? What's Starlink cost?
It's not cheap.
Celebrate.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes, but we would like to see your smiling face, Jessica.
Yeah.
Well, I want to share it with you guys in the world because I'm animated on this side of it. The arms have just been a flailing in the wind, and I'm so apologetic if it has been extra choppy because I have had such great things to offer up. So I have to get this connection fixed so that everybody can hear all the things that are spewing out of my mouth. My mom is probably cringing.
Well, actually, Jessica, do you know Jordan Green with I think J&L Green Farm? They're in the Shenandoah Valley too.
I don't.
He's a big beef, pork, poultry farm. I think they're a little bit north of you. They may be north of you. Yeah, I think they are actually north of you.
Like Timberville area, maybe?
I don't know. I've been there. I can tell you that much.
Well, listen, I'm talking to you like you're a neighbor. I'm just rattling.
It's silly. It's silly, Jessica. I know that's silly.
It's silly.
I
But
say
he
the
got
valley like
Starlink.
it's really small, but it does actually stretch the spine of the entire state. So it is kind of a
Yes.
big valley.
Yeah. But he got Starlink and he is incredibly happy. He showed us his upload speeds and he said, oh my gosh, this is like we entered into a whole new millennium. So
There's also an internet called Nomad Internet. I follow a couple of nomadic people that are
mm,
in RVs that travel across country that do YouTube stuff. So
yeah,
there's an internet called Nomad Internet too.
yeah,
That supposedly it's $120 a month,
yeah.
something like
But I
that. I
mean,
mean,
it's a business expense, Woody.
Listen, that
exactly.
doesn't sound like any more than the hamster I'm currently
I was gonna say, I mean,
on
any
those
more you're
mountains.
paying that anyways, you know.
Exactly.
Are you paying for smoke signals?
I pay for a lot of gas to go tell my politicians we need some rural internet out here. I'm
Good
a
luck with
really
that one.
I'm a really loud country girl. I don't know if they're listening, but I'm going to keep being really nice to them and showing them how beautiful these flowers are
Mhm.
and tell them, wouldn't it be nice if I had internet to share that with the world? Yeah.
So, Jessica, how far away is the nearest wired internet?
It's closer than I would like to admit. See, this little gravel road that I am on is only shared by one neighbor, and that is a regional airport that has really awesome wired internet. But when I called the company and asked them, they told me if I wanted to pay $50,000 for my own dedicated line like they did, they'd have no problem. So the conversation ended pretty quick.
Yes, I can imagine. Now,
Yeah.
we work with a company called Smart Farm Innovations. He's a good friend of mine. He does all our cameras or Wi-Fi or internet, and he's done some really interesting installs where he's been able to beam internet miles by these special, basically, I don't know if they're called what they're basically relays. And I put you in touch with them. I don't. Maybe I have in the past, but it'd be worth a conversation to see what you might be able to do to get yourself that high speed internet because he's worked some real miracles for people in very rural Vermont.
That is wildly intriguing. I do believe I have his contact information. We are working with we actually had the Secretary of Virginia Agriculture out at our farm kind of going over some of these new pilot programs that hopefully will help innovative farmers. We're finding a lot of farmers that are providing value-added niche resources are definitely in need of internet commerce, as well as even a lot of our larger production farmers. I happen to be located near the turkey capital of our state.
Yeah.
We produce a lot of poultry, and it's amazing and incredible the amount of internet that's required for those systems to operate. So I'm not alone in my battle cry. I think they just shoved the loudest girl out front. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of development in the next few years on that landscape. Boy, howdy, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my kids use a lot of internet to stream Netflix, and how else are we going to get all of our work done as farmers?
Yes.
Right? I'm sorry, but there's a little bit of reality too. As much as I would love that my kids would be out there only counting the ranunculus corms and the bouquet
Sounds great.
sleeves, the reality is they're not.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we are gonna pick.
A lot of good takeaways.
Yes, all good. There's a lot of great comments here, guys. And again, we will actually have another. Again, tomorrow's giveaway is fabulous. So you guys want to make sure that you log in tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. or whenever you get in there to the hub and click on the giveaway tab and see what tomorrow's giveaway is because it is pretty darn awesome. We have a pretty good relationship with a company and they sponsor tomorrow with their giveaway. So it's awesome to see that. But Rob, who talks about my takeaways from tonight is having your 4 pillars. That was something Jessica said, which is absolutely correct. So congratulations, Rod. We are going to send you this goodie bag or box from the farm. And so go ahead again and reach out to hello@growingfarmers.com. And I'm going to actually go ahead and put your information in here as well, so the team has it. And you are on Facebook. So there we go. Congrats. And again, we appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. It was a pleasure. I always learn so much chatting with these other farm entrepreneurs, and I really appreciate them both showing up and sharing, their how things are working, how things are not working, their struggles, and get real honest about vanilla.
Well, thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Yeah, this has been a wonderful
Yeah.
opportunity. It has been an absolute pleasure, Woody, to talk with you. I'm actually really intrigued, and I'm going to go totally internet stalk you now.
I'm gonna, we'll be stalking you too, Jessica.
Oh man, new friends out of this deal. This is one of my favorite.
By the way, I'm on YouTube as well. So
good, me too. Although I have to tell you, I'm a one-take wonder. So you get what you get that first time. I don't know how to edit anything. So
I do a lot of editing. I'm sorry. A lot of editing.
But Michael, thank you again so much for inviting me out this evening. I do hope you give me the grace of a do-over tomorrow where I can share my face with everyone.
Yes.
Because this truly was the highlight of my year last year. I think this is an incredible event that gets a lot of that hive mind juices going, where we can learn and collaborate together. And this is one of the best, most rewarding parts of being in this amazing community of agriculture, is being able to find those commonalities and build out a really beautiful lifestyle and world together. So thank you so much for letting me play a part of it this evening. And I certainly look forward to a full round of makeup for you lovely folks tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you. I was going to say, she said pretty much everything I could possibly say. But yeah, there's a lot of people in the notes are asking how to find.
What is your website, Woody?
My website is just rootboundfarms.com. But if you search for Rootbound Farms on all social medias, you'll find me. So YouTube is Our Rootbound Life. It's a little bit different. So it's Our Rootbound Life on YouTube.
And what's the people's discount code if they want to go buy your soaps?
Value 20, and it's good all of December.
Okay.
Value 20. Yep.
So yes, Christmas is coming up. After you get that all access pass, folks, then head on over and buy Woody's products.
It's good now, by the way.
Oh, I want one of those.
But make sure to get that all access too.
Okay, I want to use that access code for Woody's stuff, and I want my team to give me one to throw out tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Well, that's that. We can totally do that, Jessica. And what we'll do is
into that.
Yeah, anyone can do that. So
I want to do that, and I
team.
want to use Woody's. I'm gonna go get some soap.
Yeah, I'm looking at this sweet orange chai soap. That looks.
Oh man, it's our newest one. So we took out the vanilla and we added orange instead of vanilla. So yeah.
Michael, that goes really for a Christmas present for me. Just saying.
We got it. We got it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I actually look at that. Woody actually has on his website. I'm going to pull this up because I think this is pretty cool.
Oh, you're talking about it, how I have the. Yep, there he is.
Yep, you got me right there.
I got you right there, and I have our YouTube. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, so there you go. That's yeah, that is that. But all right, folks, we're gonna wrap this up. Really appreciate you guys coming on. Again, last time to buy the all access at 50% off. And that gives you basically peace of mind knowing you don't have to worry about missing any of the presentations. And again, tomorrow morning, again, we are so grateful for all of our speakers, all of my team, and all of you for coming up in and showing up and sharing your passion for this. And that's what makes it worth it. So, all right, you all have a great night, and we will see you bright and early in the morning.
Sounds great. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.